Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
A bad Asian reg limps under the gun with about a $700 stack.
Yep.
And the fishy guy raises to 15, which he had been raising a fair amount. He had a high VPIP, probably playing 50% of hands, but he hadn't been limping a lot. But he was raising bigger with better hands and small with,
Okay.
worse hands, ace-X. So
Sure.
I would say not a strong hand there.
So he just straight opens under the gun to 15, right, with a 4K stack.
Well, there was a limp.
Okay,
and,
all right. So that even, I'm sorry, yeah, you have that in there. So that's even less of a strong hand, obviously.
Right. So
Okay.
I'm, any ace-X, suited hands. He was just playing a lot of hands, so it could be a little bit anything.
Right.
So I'm in middle position with pocket deuces.
Yep.
And I just call.
Okay.
He has not been folding much to 3-bets, so I didn't see much point in, raising, although,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't
deuces is
necessarily have a
troublesome
strong
because
hand.
obviously, like, you could attack this pre-flop when I talk about, like, techniques for 3-bet, but deuces is just, if I'm not going to get squeezed behind me too much, I might just call here too. So you make the call, 1250 effective, the cutoff calls, right?
Right, and I don't remember his stack size.
Okay.
It wasn't real relevant. And it gets back to the under-the-gun limper who
Yep.
re-raises to 75.
Which is horrific sizing, by the way, because he's just going to get called.
Right.
I don't understand that. So so it's dealing with a limp re-raise to 75, okay.
And the fishy guy, of course, calls.
Yep.
And I thought it was pretty close. I think it probably could be a fold with his
Nah.
stack size, but
I mean, you say you have
I thought it was
1250,
still
right? It's only
borderline.
50 more for you, right? Or 60, or 60?
660 more.
Yeah, I would call here
Yeah.
all day. I mean, of course, there are some reverse implied odds with low pocket pairs, but I would definitely call.
Right. So I called, and the cutoff called as well.
Okay.
So it's 4 ways to the flop.
Yep.
And the flop comes Jack 4 deuce, all diamonds.
So you flop bot. So the pot right now is $300 because it's 75 by 4. Jack 4 deuce, all diamonds. You've got bottom set in a limp re-raise pot here, right?
Right.
Okay.
And the under the gun 3-better leads out for 125.
Okay.
And the fishy guy calls pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I decide to raise to 425.
Okay.
And when I posted this hand a while back on Slack, most of the response I got was that maybe it's sort of an overplay to raise here. I don't know what you think about that.
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, you're going to get coolered against flushes, but when you look at the ultimate pre-flop action here, you're dealing with a UTG1 fishy guy who started the raising anyways, and then a limp re-raise. Like, the limp re-raiser is so seldom going to have a suited hand, right? This is going to be a lot of overpairs.
Right.
And the guy who initially opened,
all the time.
yeah, I've got no problem playing this fast with these stack sizes as bottom set. I mean, yeah, like pairs with diamonds are going to have equity, but so what?
And what about the sizing? I mean, the stack sizes. The pot's pretty bloated. My thought was if I don't want to see another diamond necessarily.
Sure.
To kill my action or any card that might kill my action.
Sure.
And with this sizing, I thought I can pretty easily.
The other thing here, Foxer, is that it's like if you flat here, even if your head's up or next to act, and then you jam turn, that looks stronger, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that looks strong. So you got a couple of things going on. You could lose, obviously, right? Like, you could, because let's say that a guy has a diamond and an overpair here, or let's say he's got a diamond in any overpair to your deuce, right? He has equity if you just call. You're giving him a free card. And he actually has a lot more equity than he knows. This is a denial of equity. Then if the diamond comes, it just kills all your action. So you lose or you kill all your action, and you're going to get the most action here on the flop. So for those reasons, I like a raise. So you make it 425.
Yeah, and the cutoff folds under the gun. He looks kind of disgusted. He folds.
Yep.
And now the fishy guy, he just tanks. And he had been sort of playing slow, holding the game up, but he just goes in the tank for a long time. And I never call the clock on anyone, especially a recreational player. So I just wait, and someone else finally calls the clock on him.
Okay.
And as soon as they call the clock, he immediately just says, "Oh, I'm all in."
Okay.
And
so if I did the math right, the pot's about 1,800 and it's 700 for you to call. Is that right? Does that sound about right? Because you guys started 1250 effective.
Right.
Yeah. So
I have the numbers right here, but
yeah. So you're getting about 2.5 to 1, which means that again you need probably high 20s, 27 to 28% equity here. So again, I actually went over to Cruncher for a second and looked at this. I mean, first of all, obviously I didn't get the description like you're giving it to us here. I would just snap call this all day because this seems like he could really have like the ace of diamonds here or just going with like king jack with a king of diamonds or some bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, that would be my initial reaction. Right. But even if we didn't know that, and even if he wasn't fishy, what I found interesting was that even with all value that beats you, what I mean by all value that beats you, I'm talking about flushes, all the pocket fours, and I gave him one combo of pocket jacks, which I still think is unlikely, but I gave him one combo. You're still at 24 to 26% because the flushes are so represented in terms of combinations versus the sets. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if he's a fishy, you know,
right.
3 times more.
You can have a lot of suited hands.
Yeah, 3 times more flushes. If you throw in one hand with the ace of diamonds, like ace 10 with the ace of diamonds, your equity jumps up to 34%. So that was what I found. It just makes it a snap call. Now, you tell me that he's going to be fishy and stuff and he might do some bullshit. I'm calling this all day.
I thought for a little bit and, I did a little bit of math and I sort of decided that, even if he has a flush, I'm
right.
very close to getting the price.
Well, you are getting the price. If he shows you a flush, you're getting the price, right? You've got 7 outs on the to fill on turn and then 10 outs. It's like 8.5 outs. I mean, you only need, it's like a little less than a flush draw. You need about maybe 31, 32%. If he shows you a flush, you're definitely getting the right price.
So, and like you say, I mean, if you think he can ever have just an ace of diamonds.
And I think where some people go wrong with this when they don't understand the combinations is they're like, well, yeah, if he has a flush, like I'm 31%, but if he has his set, I'm drawing dead, which is true. But what they don't factor in is that how much more likely it is that he has a flush, right? Like if you have 5% equity against a set, right? Because you've got 1 out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
4 combos, right, of 5% equity, and then there are 16 combos of flushes that you have 30% equity on. You don't average 30 and 5 and say, oh, I've got 17.5. You take 30 and you multiply by 4, that's 120. And then you add 5 to that, that's 125, and then you divide by 5. That's how you find the equity. And that's like 25-ish, is that 25-ish percent? But again, like I said, if you throw in just one random spot, it's, for sure. So you made the call?
I did.
Okay.
I also thought, jacks were pretty unlikely.
Sure.
And there would be some chance that he would raise, pocket fours the first time around rather than just flat that,
right.
monotone board. But the turn ended up being the king of diamonds, so that would have been interesting if I had just called, but I don't think that's the right play. And the river bricked, and he had ace 8 of diamonds, so he had flopped and not flush.
I mean, what are you going to do? You know, I mean, yeah, I still think that you made the right play, obviously.
Okay.
And, I don't think that you really did anything wrong. So, I think it's good that we went through the hand, and, like I said, I don't think you did anything wrong.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.